An uncommon and beautiful sight on the road, the Genesis G80 is one of our favorite luxury sedans. For 2026, not much changes because it's already so good looking, it already drives so well, and the interior is impeccable among the luxury class. This is a new top trim, the Prestige Black, and we're gonna take it for a spin, enjoy it in the summer, and tell you why this car is still, what we think, truly worth the money. The Genesis G80 was brand new in this generation for 2021, and it was refreshed for 2025. Every time we've tested a G80, even the electrified version, which very few people bought, we've loved it. Let's be real, no one is making a luxury sedan like this. The silhouette on the G80 is just gorgeous, and new for 2026, it's this trim, the Prestige Black. It's based on the 3.5T Sport Prestige, but of course it blackens everything. The front emblem, the grille, even the LED light surrounds on the front, even these badges, and they're self-centering. I can't tell you how many times during these video shoots we're trying to align these logos perfectly upright when we're shooting, and just like a Rolls-Royce and Bentley, we don't have to do it at any speed. They're also extra dark. There's really no other choices other than Vic Black or you're getting a white, and they're both extra cost options that you have to order. But otherwise, this is a fully loaded trim, and everything that you're seeing on here, the proportions, the sport back look, even though there's a real trunk, the double bar light effect that carries all around the vehicle, and even this paint. Yes, it's black, but it sparkles, there's a nice shine to it. So many details go into this car. These wheels are also exclusive. I'm personally not a fan of all black treatments, but on this car, it's got me convinced. Normally, all black interiors aren't all that exciting, but in the G80, Genesis has treated everything with a different level of detail than every other trim. Compared to every other G80, Genesis darkened the switches, the buttons, the knobs, speaker covers, the air vent sliders, the top of the shifter, the steering wheel trim, the badge there, even the overhead console. And carbon fiber on the top trim, that wasn't black enough, so now they've got black ash wood. There's also a unique quilt pattern on all of the seats. On every G80, there's also a center side airbag in the front. This is a digital car to an extent, but it's very analog and it's very rich and decadent, unlike competitors. This is the G80, but to me, it's close to the G90 in terms of headroom and legroom. Even though this is swooped back, it's scalloped here, and this roof, while you can see it, it doesn't extend too far back, so extra headroom. Heated outboard seats on this trim, a third zone of climate, USB ports in here. The only bad thing I can say about this back seat is just the fact that these window shades are manual, and I think for this price, they should be powered with the windows, but that is it. For a mid-size car, the trunk space is pretty tight, just over 13 cubic feet, and those rear seats do not fold. The G80 in this top trim, 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. It's the only engine that I've ever tested, and I don't think you should even consider the Turbo 4. It's got better efficiency, but this car looks incredible and you should be speeding up accordingly. And it's not just speed, it's just response. It really is good. Through the 8-speed automatic transmission, it sounds good. Now, it's not the quality that you'd have from a BMW engine, right? That's kind of the gold standard, still is. But they've made enough refinement over the years, and you can't complain about the output. 375 horsepower, 391 pound-feet of torque. And there's no hybrid assist of any kind. You'll find that in the G90, but not in the G80. All-wheel drive is standard. And on this trim, you get an electronic limited slip rear differential that also works as torque vectoring, so that's really good. Plus, only on these top trims, so if you're getting a 3.5T Sport Prestige or this Prestige Black, you get rear wheel steering. And that does turn in tandem with the wheels at higher speeds, and it also tilts a few degrees in the opposite direction when you're parking. Does make a difference with a sedan this long. Now back to fuel efficiency. On the V6, I mean, it really is bad. 15 city, 24 highway, that's pretty generous. And really, yeah, it burns through a lot of fuel. But in the luxury class, I think you want to have something that's potent enough, and also something that responds well enough and can quiet down, because that truly is the point of a luxury car. You have the power when you need it, or when you want, truly. And then it glides pretty effortlessly. Now there's an interesting drive mode. You can only select it when you have the customizable My Mode selected. It's called Smart. And when you do that, there's something called predictive shift. And a graphic on the screen here on this instrument panel will light up and it'll show you, for example, if you're going around a turn, if it thinks you're merging, it's using the map data to preemptively keep the car in the proper gear. And I've been trying that out. It's actually pretty cool. It will even downshift and slow down the car a little bit when it detects other vehicles ahead, say if you've been driving on the highway. So it doesn't work perfectly in every situation, but you'll get a graphic here that will display right in front of you so you can know what it's thinking. I think that's kind of an interesting take, and it's showing you how it's working in action. There's no hands-free system, but I've been testing this Highway Driving Assist 2, like you'll find in even Hyundai and Kia models. It actually does let you take your hands off the wheel. Didn't think that would actually happen. But it works well, but it's truly not hands-free, so don't use it as such, but all of the sensors, everything here, and the software are on board. So this G80 in particular looks very sporty. It's not meant to be, and that's okay. It's there if you actually need it, that limited slip diff. It also has staggered size tires, and these are Pirelli P0 all seasons, so they're more aggressive all seasons, the more high performance versions. So that already puts it at a good footing. And the steering tracks pretty true. There's just enough flow even in sport mode to keep you comfortable. I would say that this is more tuned to what a Mercedes E-Class was a generation ago. It's a really good balance and not meant to be some performance car, but it's got the power, it's got the grip. Doesn't really want to hustle, but it'll do it. So if you want that type of experience, you really got to get the G70. It's another great Genesis car. You should watch our many reviews on that compact sedan. Because unlike the G70, there's no Sport Plus driving mode on this top trim. So the shift programming is always going to be a bit slower, but slower is relative. And for most people who want just a quick, executive-sized luxury car, this is more than enough. And I honestly think the tuning is perfect. Never gets in the way. Really just the ride is impeccable. It is. I'm not searching for a sportier experience. I know it's capable of doing that if Genesis ever brought the G80 Magma over here. For now, it's only in the Middle East in extremely limited quantities. That car is dropped. It's got a totally different suspension tune, very aggressive. So Genesis has the capability to do it. Will they come out with it? Who knows? But as it stands, the tuning here, I think most people are just gonna love it. Genesis has a camera system that it's using, like other car companies, to read the road ahead, attempting to scan the road for any rough surfaces, imperfections, and prepare the dampers in advance. And while testing it, while I can't say much for the preemption part, it seems prepared. I'll give it that. Doesn't matter where I'm driving. I get plenty of feedback through the wheel, just enough. I shouldn't say plenty because this is still a luxury car, it's meant to be muted, but just enough sensations come through. It's a tough balance to achieve because you want the driver to feel what's going on the outside, but as a luxury car, you definitely don't want a lot of it. So striking it is tough, and they've done a good job there. It also feels light. This car is about 4,600 pounds, which actually is light today. Who would have thought? When you're driving an M5, for example, that was close to 5,500 pounds or more. We've had lots of heavy electric cars, including the electric version of this G80, which is no longer being sold. On long drives, the car will actually start a massage function to kind of perk up your back and your butt, because body parts get numb. You're driving like this for a long time. It's like sitting in an office chair. So they have that setting available. Plus you can activate the massage at any point as well. So things like that are just really helpful. I want to be comfortable first and foremost in a car like this. And the fact that it also drives really well, that's a really good bonus. But even if it didn't, because this car is styled so nicely, I would forgive it for that. But the G80 is in fact the whole package. Great poise, great grip, not a lot of lean. There's nothing that advanced going on in the G80 besides normal adaptive dampers. It just feels really good. Yeah, when you hustle it, it's good. It's not meant to do that, but it works. The G80 has a single curved 27-inch display. This half is touch sensitive, of course, really easy to use, much better than previous generations of this car, including the pre-refresh. And you can also use a rotary controller here, shortcut buttons, touch sensitive buttons. I wish these were real buttons, but they're here. Volume knobs, climate control, this always stays here. And you can adjust also the actual haptic feedback. This gets pretty easy, actually. I do like this system. Again, a lot of hard touch points, including on the steering wheel. So if you're going over here, for example, I can actually change. Let me just put this back on the home so you can see it. This will actually extend the map over, which is kind of neat. You can have that as the background, or you can have this dynamic background here, which will change based on the weather. It will also show lightning, snow, all sorts of things like that. So pretty interesting. There's also shortcut buttons right here, so you can adjust that. This over here is touch sensitive, but it's also a button. You can switch between several different displays here in the center. You can also add something here. So once you have this all set up, it's actually not distracting. Compared to a lot of new systems, it really isn't. Now, if you go into the sound, Bang & Olufsen stereo. This isn't a lot of cars now, but this one particularly is really good, 1400 watts. What's also interesting is this. If you go to 3D setup, it will visualize everything as opposed to you having to go through the setup menus. Just a different way of looking. You can even do that from the inside of the car. And again, this is the actual car, which is pretty cool. You can see that here. Even the quilting is exactly what it should be. I don't know, just really interesting. I like the fact that you can come in here, because say, for example, you want to change what's on the cluster. Now you're in the setup menu. And when you're doing that, for example, let's go back to setup as you normally would. When you're going to, say, driver assistance, everything here is now animated as opposed to static graphics. You can actually see what's going on here. It helps you visualize. You don't even really need the owner's manual. Smart cruise control. What I also like about this, there's so many different settings that you can adjust. It'll actually adapt based on your driving style. Most systems will only do it based on, a vehicle in front. This will change the reaction speed, for example. Things like that you just can't do in normal cars. So a lot of good customization. And once you've already had it all set up, you don't have to worry about it. A lot of hard touch points. Again, this is just a really good interior. The 2026 Genesis G80 starts at $60,000. There are 5 trims. Ours, the Prestige Black with Destination and the extra charge paint, which you have to order because there's only 2 colors, $81,000. The competitors, the Mercedes-Benz E-Class, BMW 5 Series, and the Audi A6. The competitors are all relying on gimmicks and styling that's copied from other brands. Genesis is really into its own, and with the G80, you're seeing it in every single detail. The more you look at this car, the more time that you spend near it, you'll notice all the intricate things that Genesis put into it that you're not finding anywhere else. It drives really well, it has the polish, there's warmth to it, there's tactility to it, and it's not all digital. Genesis is really doing a great job, and it still shows. It's not the fact that we're on some bandwagon. The car is truly that exceptional. You should drive one in person, and the fact that it's so uncommon on the road next to SUVs means that you're not going to see one very often. It's a really good thing if you're a buyer in this class. What do you think? And do you want more sedan reviews, more luxury reviews? We have them at CarGurus. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.